The United States has a long and storied history of bank heists, with criminals using elaborate schemes and tactics to steal millions. While many daring heists have been recorded throughout history, few rival the audacity and scale of the United California Bank robbery in 1972. This particular heist, executed by a group of experienced criminals, remains one of the largest bank robberies in American history, with the stolen sum totaling an astounding $30 million. In this video, we'll get into the details of the biggest bank heist in U.S. history. But before that, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for regular updates. Now, let's get started. The masterminds and the perfect crew behind it. The plan to rob the United California Bank was conceived by Amil Dinsio, a master burglar from Youngstown, Ohio, who had built a formidable reputation in the criminal underworld. Known for his meticulous approach, Dinsio left nothing to chance. He assembled a crew of 7 men. The team included his brother, James Dinsio, a specialist in explosives, his nephews, Harry and Ronald Barber, who were proficient in the use of burglary tools, and his brother-in-law, Charles Mulligan, who acted as the driver and lookout. Also on the team were Phil Christopher, an expert at disabling alarms, and Charles Brockle, a petty thief forced into the operation as extra muscle. Dinsio's strategy for the heist was built around his crew's collective experience and technical prowess. The bank in Laguna Niguel, a small and affluent city in Southern California, was chosen carefully. It housed a safe deposit vault believed to contain large sums of cash, allegedly belonging to President Richard Nixon, and valuable items. The information came from a reliable source known only to Dinsio, and the potential payout made the risk worthwhile. Planning and execution of the heist. The plan was simple but bold. The burglars would blast a hole through the roof of the bank's vault using dynamite, gaining entry without setting off any alarms. They aimed to carry out the burglary swiftly and leave no evidence behind. The team set up a temporary headquarters in a nearby townhouse rented under a fake name. This served as their base of operations, from where they could monitor the bank and prepare for the heist without arousing suspicion. The crew spent several days surveying the United California Bank. They identified the bank's vulnerable points and focused on bypassing the alarm system. Amil's experience with explosives played a significant role in designing a plan to break through the vault's thick concrete ceiling. The most challenging part was accessing the safe deposit box section. After conducting several dry runs and ensuring that the police patrol schedules were understood, the crew felt ready. The heist would be executed under the cover of darkness, minimizing the risk of being detected. With a solid plan and a skilled team, the Dinsio brothers were confident that they could pull off the perfect heist. Breaking into the vault. On March 24, 1972, the heist began. In the dark of night, the crew made their way to the bank. Using a ladder and other equipment, they accessed the roof and meticulously planted the dynamite charges. The explosion was perfectly executed, creating a large hole in the vault's reinforced concrete ceiling. Phil Christopher, the alarm expert, ensured that the blast did not trigger the bank's security system. Once inside, the team moved swiftly. Armed with burglary tools designed by James Dinsio, they pried open the safe deposit boxes, searching for cash, jewelry, and any other valuables they could find. While most of the crew focused on breaking into the boxes, Charles Brockle, who lacked any specialized skills, was assigned a minor role of assisting in busting open the boxes and ferrying the loot. The entire operation was conducted with military precision, and by the time they left the vault, they had amassed around $30 million in cash, gold, and other items of value. The burglars made their escape without leaving any immediate trace. Everything appeared to have gone according to plan. They returned to the rented townhouse to divide the loot and quickly dispersed, each heading back to Ohio. As far as they were concerned, they had pulled off the perfect heist. A break in the case. Despite the burglars' confidence, the FBI's response was swift. When the bank staff discovered the gaping hole in the vault's ceiling the next morning, federal agents were immediately brought in to investigate. However, the crime scene yielded little evidence. No fingerprints, no tool marks, no footprints. Nothing seemed to connect anyone to the crime. It appeared as though the burglars had vanished into thin air. But a few months later, the crew made a critical mistake. Feeling invincible after the success of the Laguna Niguel heist, they attempted another burglary back in Ohio. This time, they were not as careful, and the FBI was able to link both crimes. Investigators noticed striking similarities in the methods used and began to focus on a crew of known burglars from Ohio. This was the break the FBI needed. Connecting the dots and the arrests. The FBI began investigating flight records for any leads. Their attention was drawn to 5 individuals who had traveled together to California under their real names around the time of the heist. A 6th man, Amil Dinsio, had taken a separate flight a day earlier. Cross-referencing these names with criminal records revealed that the group had ties to burglary and organized crime in Ohio. Agents also tracked down the townhouse rented by the burglars during their time in California. A thorough search of the property initially yielded no results. But in a stroke of luck, an observant agent decided to check the kitchen appliances. Inside the dishwasher, they found dirty dishes bearing fingerprints that matched several of the suspects. With this crucial piece of evidence in hand, the FBI obtained federal arrest warrants for the crew. One by one, the burglars were arrested, and the stolen cash and valuables began to resurface. Some of the loot was found in safety deposit boxes across multiple states, but a large portion of the stolen money was never recovered. Trial and betrayal. The trial of Amil Dinsio and his crew drew national attention. The prosecution's case was solid, thanks in part to the fingerprints recovered from the townhouse. Faced with overwhelming evidence, the burglars' defense strategy quickly crumbled. But what ultimately sealed their fate was not the government's case, but betrayal from within their own ranks. Charles Bruckle, one of the crew members who had been reluctantly included in the heist, turned against his fellow conspirators. In exchange for immunity, Bruckle agreed to testify for the prosecution. His testimony provided a detailed account of the heist, from the planning stages to the division of the stolen goods. This insider knowledge was invaluable, and with his cooperation, the prosecution was able to piece together the entire operation. In addition to Bruckle's betrayal, another twist emerged during the trial. A man named Earl Dawson, who had been a minor associate of the crew, also took the stand as a witness. His brother, Harold Dawson, attempted to bribe him into altering his testimony. When the plot was uncovered, it only served to strengthen the case against the gang. Earl Dawson was placed in witness protection to ensure his safety, as was Bruckle, who had effectively turned on some of the most dangerous criminals in the country. Aftermath and legacy. The United California Bank Heist left a lasting mark on U.S. criminal history. It showed the lengths to which professional burglars would go to execute a sophisticated, high-stakes robbery. The case also highlighted the importance of forensic evidence. Even in an era before modern technology like DNA analysis, a single fingerprint, carelessly left on a dish, was enough to crack the case wide open. This heist is studied by law enforcement agencies as a case of both high-level criminal execution and the eventual downfall that comes from greed and overconfidence. Amil Dinsio and his crew received long prison sentences, with most of the members serving more than a decade behind bars. However, the heist's legend continued to grow, inspiring numerous books, documentaries, and even a Hollywood movie. Despite the capture of the perpetrators, the mystery of the missing millions lingers to this day. A significant portion of the loot remains unaccounted for, and speculation about its whereabouts continues to fuel interest in the case. The Dinsio brothers and their crew thought they had outsmarted everyone. For a brief moment, they did. But in the end, their downfall serves as a powerful example of how even the most elaborate schemes can collapse under the weight of a single careless mistake. That's all for today's video. I hope you liked the video. If you did and would like to see more content like this, subscribe and hit the bell icon for more updates. Thanks for watching.